Hi, I'm Neil from Diabetes Solutions, and I'd like to welcome you along to another health improvement video. In this video, we are going to be looking into the topic of fasting and how it can help you to control your blood sugar levels. So whether you are pre-diabetic or type 2 diabetic or are neither, but simply want to improve your health, intermittent fasting can be a great way to improve blood sugar levels and also improve your overall well-being, as we're about to find out. So if you've ever wondered about fasting, have considered doing it in the past, or have been doing it perhaps but have had limited success, this video is just for you. A quick disclaimer, I'm not giving you advice, I'm not making recommendations, I'm just providing you with knowledge and a little bit of education. Okay, so let's have a look at what intermittent fasting is before we look at how we can implement it into our daily lives. So intermittent fasting, or IF, is less about what you eat, but more about when you eat it. It's a pattern that cycles between periods of eating and not eating for set periods of time. Now, this approach has gained popularity due to its simplicity and also the range of health benefits that it offers. Unlike traditional diets that focus on calorie restrictions or specific food groups, intermittent fasting focuses on timing your meals to allow your body to experience periods with minimal calorie intake. So let's have a look at some of the more popular methods of intermittent fasting. So first we have the 18-6 method. Another one is the 5-2 method, which I'm sure many of you have heard of. And then we have the eat, stop, eat method. And we'll cover those in more detail in a moment. Now, why is blood sugar control so important? Well, maintaining stable blood sugar levels is crucial for our health. High blood sugar levels can lead to a variety of serious health issues, including type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease, nerve damage, kidney damage, and also sight loss. When blood sugar levels are consistently high, it can cause your body to become resistant to insulin. And insulin is the hormone that helps your cells to absorb glucose from your bloodstream into the body cells. It's this insulin resistance that's a key factor in the development of type 2 diabetes. Stable blood sugars also are beneficial because they can help you to maintain your energy levels, they can help you to reduce hunger and cravings, and they can also help you to reduce the risk of long-term health complications. And research has shown that the practice of intermittent fasting can help stabilize blood sugar levels by improving insulin sensitivity. Now, this means that your body becomes more efficient at using insulin, which then leads to lower blood sugar levels and a reduced risk of insulin resistance. And several studies have supported these findings. For example, a study published in the journal Cell Metabolism found that intermittent fasting can improve insulin sensitivity and reduce blood sugar levels in individuals at risk of type 2 diabetes. Another study in a journal called Obesity showed that intermittent fasting could help reduce fasting blood glucose levels and improve overall metabolic health. Now, understanding how intermittent fasting works involves delving into the metabolic changes that occur to our bodies during fasting periods. So let's break down these processes and their impact on our blood sugar control. First, let's talk about the reduction in insulin levels. Now, insulin, as I mentioned, is the hormone produced by the pancreas that helps our cells absorb glucose from the bloodstream to be used for energy or also stored for future use. Now, when you eat, your insulin levels rise to help manage that influx of glucose from your food. However, constantly elevated insulin levels can lead to insulin resistance, where the cells become less responsive to insulin, resulting in higher blood sugar levels. If you like, insulin is the key to the lock that's on the cell door. And the more insulin that's pumped into your bloodstream, the less responsive your cells can become to the hormone. Now, during fasting periods, your insulin levels drop significantly. This reduction in insulin allows your body to shift from using glucose for energy to burning stored fat. Lower insulin levels also prevent spikes in blood sugar, helping maintain more stable blood sugar levels throughout the day. Next, let's look at the increase in growth hormone. Now, fasting has been shown to boost levels of growth hormone, and growth hormone plays a crucial role in muscle growth, fat metabolism, and also overall body composition. Higher levels of growth hormone can actually enhance fat burning and help preserve lean muscle mass, which is particularly beneficial when you're trying to lose weight, improve your metabolic health, and also manage your blood sugar levels. Another critical process that occurs during fasting is autophagy. Now, autophagy is the body's way of removing damaged cells and regenerating new healthy cells. This process is essential for maintaining cellular health and has been linked to a reduced risk of several diseases, including cancer and neurodegenerative disorders. During fasting, autophagy is upregulated, which means that your body becomes more efficient at repairing and regenerating cells. Now, let's look at the impact of these metabolic changes on your blood sugar levels. One of the most significant benefits of intermittent fasting is its ability to decrease insulin resistance. With lower insulin levels in the blood and improved insulin sensitivity, your body becomes more efficient at managing blood sugar levels. This mechanism helps prevent the rapid fluctuations in blood sugar that can occur with frequent eating and snacking. Improved blood sugar levels are a direct result of these metabolic changes, and by reducing insulin resistance and stabilizing blood sugar, intermittent fasting can help prevent the development of type 2 diabetes and other metabolic disorders. And several studies have supported this, showing that intermittent fasting can lead to significant improvements in fasting blood glucose levels, insulin sensitivity, and overall metabolic health. For instance, a study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that participants who followed an intermittent fasting regime experienced a significant reduction in fasting blood glucose levels and also improved insulin sensitivity compared to those who didn't fast. And another study in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism showed that intermittent fasting could help reduce HbA1c levels, and HbA1c is a long-term marker of blood sugar control, particularly in those with pre-diabetes. Implementing intermittent fasting effectively requires choosing the method that works for you and following some practical tips, which I will cover in a moment, to ensure your success. So let's have a closer look into how you can start practicing intermittent fasting and make it a sustainable part of your lifestyle and routine. First, you need to look at the right method. So let's cover the three methods that we mentioned earlier in the video. So the 18-6 method is one of the most popular approaches to intermittent fasting due to its simplicity and ease of integration into your daily life. With the 18-6 method, you fast for 18 hours each day and eat during a 6-hour window. For instance, you might choose to eat between 1 p.m. and 7 p.m. and then you would fast from 7 p.m. overnight until 1 p.m. the next day. And this method allows you to skip breakfast, eat 2 meals within the eating window, and that makes it manageable for most people. The 18-6 method is beneficial because it helps reduce late night eating and also snacking, and it also encourages more mindful eating during eating periods. We then come on to the 5-2 method. This approach involves eating normally, and when I say normally, I do mean still sensibly and healthily, for 5 days of the week, and then significantly reducing your calorie intake to about 500 or 600 calories per day for the other 2 days. These 2 days should be non-consecutive. So, for example, you could do a low-calorie day on a Monday and a Thursday. And this method allows for greater flexibility and can be easier for those who prefer not to fast for long periods of time. On those fasting days, you can split your 500 to 600 calories into 2 small meals, or you can consume them in one main meal. And this method can be effective for people who are looking to lose weight and also to improve their overall metabolic health. And then we come on to the eat, stop, eat method. I have to admit, this is my favorite method. I use the eat, stop, eat method for 1 day every week, and I have done for many, many years now. And this method involves fasting for a full 24 hours once a week. For example, you might finish your dinner at 7 p.m. in the evening, and then you wouldn't eat again until 7 p.m. the following day. Now, while this method can be more challenging due to the extended fasting period, it does offer significant benefits over the other 2 methods in terms of fat loss, blood sugar control, and other metabolic improvements. It's important to stay hydrated and keep busy during fasting periods to distract your mind away from eating, help you to manage hunger pangs, and also avoid overeating when you break your fast. And I'm going to cover some more of those tips in a moment. Now, finding the right method that fits your lifestyle is key for long-term success. If you get into doing fasting, you should see it as a long-term thing, one that you just do automatically once a week, rather than it being a fad that you only do for a month or 2. So look at your daily schedule, look at your work commitments, and also your social activities, and then pick the fasting method that works best for you. If you've got a busy morning routine, then the 18-6 might be a good fit. If you prefer flexibility and less intense fasting, then the 5-2 method could be ideal for you. And if you want maximum benefits and do like a bit of a challenge, then the eat, stop, eat, the 24-hour fast might be perfect for you. So here are some tips for success, and we're going to cover some more tips a bit later in the video as well. So keep on watching. So if you're new to fasting, start gradually. Begin with shorter fasting periods, such as 12 hours perhaps, and then slowly increase the duration as your body adapts. This approach helps to minimize potential side effects like feelings of hunger and fatigue. And if you're new to fasting, going beyond 12 hours can be quite challenging. But as you do it and you gradually increase those periods, your body will adapt and it will become easier. It's also important to listen to your body. If you begin fasting and your target is a 24-hour period, but you only get to 19 hours and start to struggle, then break the fast. Don't make yourself suffer. That's not the idea of fasting. If you make yourself suffer, you'll start to not enjoy the process, you'll start to avoid it, and it simply won't happen. So wherever you get to, again, if you set your target at say 24 hours and you get to 17, 18, 19, and you're really having a tough time, then eat. And then the following week, just revisit it, because accepting your success in achieving whatever you get to, again, that might be 19 hours. And to be fair, that's more than most people think that they can do. And most people won't even try to achieve that fasting period. So congratulate yourself that you've got that far, and then revisit it the following week, and maybe then try to extend that from maybe 19 hours to 19 and a half, or maybe 20. And then the week after that, go from 20 to 21, and then 21 to 22, and so on until you reach your target of 24 hours. As with any change to your eating patterns, you should allow your body time to adjust without having those feelings of being overwhelmed. Now, this bit is really important, and I urge you to pay special attention to this section. Hydration is crucial during fasting periods. You must stay hydrated. You must keep your fluid intake up, but what you drink is important. So drinking water, herbal teas, fruit teas, mint teas, green teas are all great. Black coffee or black tea without sugar or milk is also fine. And these can help you to stay hydrated during the day and help you to manage those hunger pangs. And it's really important that you avoid sugary drinks, or you avoid putting sugar in your drinks, and you avoid things like milk because it has calories and sugar in it. And also high calorie drinks as well, as they will break the fast and that will kind of defeat the purpose. But I do stress it's really, really important to keep up your hydration levels. And in terms of managing hunger, well, managing hunger is one of the most challenging aspects of intermittent fasting. So distraction techniques, so staying busy with work, hobbies, family, exercise can help take your mind off food. And staying hydrated is really important, because hydration, keeping your water intake up, will actually quell those perceived hunger pangs. And consuming nutrient-dense foods during the eating windows is also critical. So focusing on whole foods that are rich in protein and healthy fats and fibre are important, as they promote satiety and they can help you to control your hunger during fasting periods. So, for example, start your eating window with a balanced meal that includes things like lean protein, so perhaps chicken, healthy fats, avocados and nuts, and also complex carbohydrates like vegetables or whole grains. And this combination helps you to stabilize blood sugar levels and helps keep you feeling fuller for longer. Intermittent fasting offers a number of benefits for blood sugar control, primarily through its effects on insulin resistance and fasting blood sugar levels. So let's have a look at some of these benefits. Firstly, let's look at how intermittent fasting reduces insulin resistance. So insulin resistance occurs when cells in your muscles, fat and liver don't respond well to insulin and can't easily take up glucose from your blood. Now, when you fast, your insulin levels drop significantly. This decrease in insulin levels is crucial because high insulin levels over prolonged periods of time can lead to insulin resistance. So by lowering your insulin levels, intermittent fasting helps to improve insulin sensitivity, which means that your body becomes more efficient at using insulin to manage blood sugar levels. And this mechanism behind this involves the body's energy metabolism. So shifting from burning glucose, carbohydrates, to burning fat. So during fasting, stored glucose in the liver is depleted and the body begins to break down fats into ketones for energy. It's a process called gluconeogenesis. This shift not only helps to reduce insulin levels, but also promotes fat loss, which again can further enhance insulin sensitivity. Long-term benefits of reduced insulin resistance include the prevention of type 2 diabetes, or certainly the reduced risk of developing type 2 diabetes, and improvements in your overall metabolic health. And by enhancing the body's response to insulin, intermittent fasting can help prevent the onset of type 2 diabetes complications in those people at risk. It also contributes to better blood sugar control in those already diagnosed with type 2 diabetes or those that are pre-diabetic. And that potentially reduces the need for medication in pre-diabetics or increased medication in those with type 2 diabetes. And again, it helps to lower that risk of complications like neuropathy and nephropathy and retinopathy in those with type 2 diabetes. Fasting blood sugar levels are the levels of glucose in your blood after you've not eaten for at least 8 hours. You know, when you booked that morning appointment with your doctor for a blood test for whatever reason, and they tell you to consume nothing but water prior to the test, that's known as your fasting blood sugar level. Now, high fasting blood sugar levels can be an indicator of pre-diabetes or type 2 diabetes, and intermittent fasting helps to lower these levels by improving insulin sensitivity and reducing your overall blood sugar levels. And several studies have demonstrated the effectiveness of intermittent fasting in improving fasting blood sugar levels. For example, a study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that participants who practiced intermittent fasting experienced significant reductions in fasting blood glucose levels compared to those who did not fast. Another study in the journal Obesity showed that intermittent fasting could lead to a reduction in fasting insulin levels and improvements in insulin sensitivity, which, as we've already mentioned, is key for maintaining stable blood sugar levels. One important marker of long-term blood sugar control is HbA1c, which measures the average blood sugar levels over the past 3 months. And if you want to find out more about understanding HbA1c, then please check out my other video that dives deeper into the subject. High HbA1c levels are a strong indicator of poor blood sugar control, and also an increased risk of type 2 diabetes and type 2 diabetes related complications. Research has shown that intermittent fasting can significantly help reduce down HbA1c levels. A study published in Diabetes Care demonstrated that individuals that follow an intermittent fasting routine had lower HbA1c levels, which indicates they've got better long-term blood sugar control. Beyond blood sugar control, intermittent fasting offers additional health benefits that indirectly support better blood sugar management. Weight loss and improved body composition can be significant outcomes of intermittent fasting. And by reducing down body fat, particularly visceral fat, so that's fat around the organs in the abdominal cavity, intermittent fasting helps improve insulin sensitivity and lowers the risk of metabolic diseases. And this loss of excess weight also alleviates the burden on the body's other metabolic processes, which leads to overall better health. Another benefit of intermittent fasting is the reduction of inflammation. Chronic inflammation is a key factor in the development of many diseases, including type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and also cancer. And fasting has been shown to reduce markers of inflammation in the body. A study in the journal Cell found that intermittent fasting reduced levels of inflammatory cytokines, and cytokines are proteins involved in the inflammatory response. This reduction in inflammation helps to protect against chronic diseases and also supports your overall metabolic health. So let's have a look at top tips for successful intermittent fasting. To get the most out of intermittent fasting, it's important to follow some key strategies that can help you stay on track, not just in the short term, but also in the long term as well, and maximize the benefits from fasting. So let's have a look in more detail at some of these top tips for successful intermittent fasting. And the first of these is to stay consistent. Consistency is crucial when it comes to intermittent fasting. Establishing a routine helps your body to adapt to the new eating pattern, and it makes fasting periods easier over time. When you follow a consistent schedule, your body knows when to expect food, which can help regulate hunger hormones and reduce feelings of hunger during fasting periods. Psychologically, a routine can make the process feel more manageable and also less stressful. The benefits of consistency extend beyond just making fasting easier. Consistent intermittent fasting can lead to long-term health improvements, such as better blood sugar control, weight loss, and also improved metabolic health. In addition, integrating fasting into your daily life becomes more seamless, allowing you to maintain the practice over the long term. So what should you eat when you're not fasting? Well, during your eating windows, so if you're doing the 18-6, it's that 6-hour window, maybe between 1 p.m. and 7 p.m. If you're doing a 24-hour fast, then it will be at the period after 24 hours when you break the fast. It's really important to avoid processed and highly processed foods and ensure that you eat nutrient-dense, natural whole foods instead. These whole, unprocessed natural foods provide the vitamins and minerals and nutrients that your body needs to function optimally. Examples of nutrient-dense food include things like vegetables and fruits, lean proteins, so maybe chicken or fish or tofu, and also healthy fats, so avocados, nuts, and olive oil. And these balanced meals are crucial for maintaining energy levels and satiety during your fasting periods. So ensure that your meals include a good distribution of macronutrients, so proteins, healthy fats, and complex carbohydrates. And these proteins are essential for muscle repair and growth. The fats provide sustained energy, and the complex carbohydrates, especially the fiber-rich carbohydrates, help you to maintain stable blood sugar levels and are also good for your digestive health. And if you want to find out more about fiber, then please check out my other video about blood sugar levels and fiber, which goes into much more detail. Hydration is also important, as we've already mentioned, so drink plenty of water and include also hydrating foods in your diet, like fruits and vegetables. Exercise can complement intermittent fasting and can actually enhance fasting's benefits. The timing of your workouts can influence how you feel during fasting periods. Some people prefer to exercise during their eating windows to have the energy and fuel from the food that they consume, while other people prefer that fasting workouts, that is those exercise routines that are done during the day while they're fasting and before they break their fast, work well for them. However, be cautious if you do choose to exercise during a fasting period, especially if you're new to fasting, as the combination of exercise and fasting can be too much for some people. Now, the type of exercise you do is also important. Aerobic exercises like walking, jogging, cycling help to burn fat, while resistance training such as weightlifting or bodyweight exercise can help build muscle mass. But combining both types of exercise can have profound effects on your metabolism, which further enhances insulin sensitivity and supports blood sugar control. You should also listen to your body. Intermittent fasting is not a one-size-fits-all approach. It's important to listen to your body and recognize your own hunger cues. True hunger is a physical sensation, whereas cravings are often emotional or psychological. And some strategies to manage hunger include staying busy, as we've mentioned, staying hydrated. I can't stress the importance of drinking water, and also making sure that when you do break your fast, you consume those nutrient-dense natural foods. And allowing yourself some flexibility with your fasting periods is essential. So if you find that a particular fasting window is too challenging or doesn't fit well with your lifestyle, then adjust it. For example, I normally fast on a Monday, and I probably fast 8 times out of 10 on a Monday. But occasionally, some Mondays will come along and it just makes fasting is just not going to happen. It might be a work issue, it might be I'm out socially, and fasting just doesn't work for me on a Monday on that particular week. So I'll just choose to fast another day during that week. So don't be rigid, make sure you're flexible, and it will just make fasting so much easier. And that goal is to find a fasting schedule that works for you. If it works for you, you're more likely to commit to it. And if you're more likely to commit to it, it's going to be sustainable and you're going to reap the benefits. And plan ahead. And planning is really important, and it is key to a successful intermittent fasting. So meal planning is important, and preparation is important to ensure that you have those healthy, nutrient-dense foods ready to eat during your eating windows. And that can also prevent you from reaching for unhealthy snacks or also fast food or junk food when you're hungry. Other tips for effective meal planning include prepping meals in advance, doing batch cooking, and also keeping healthy snacks on hand. Let's look at cautions and considerations, because while intermittent fasting can offer many benefits, it's essential to approach it with caution and consider your individual circumstances, which may impact whether fasting is suitable for you or not. So let's look at some of these key cautions and considerations to ensure that intermittent fasting is safe and that it's going to be effective for you. So who should avoid intermittent fasting? There are certain groups of people who should avoid intermittent fasting, or at least approach it with caution and only do it under professional guidance. And the first of these is pregnant or breastfeeding women, as they have increased nutritional needs to support both their own health and the development of their baby. Fasting during pregnancy and breastfeeding can potentially lead to insufficient nutrient intake, which can affect both the mother and the baby. And therefore, it's generally recommended that women who are pregnant avoid intermittent fasting unless advised otherwise by their doctor or their healthcare provider. Those with a history of eating disorders should be cautious about intermittent fasting, as fasting can sometimes trigger disordered eating behaviours or can worsen existing conditions. And it's crucial for these individuals to seek guidance from a healthcare professional, such as a nutritionist or a therapist, to ensure that any dietary changes support their overall recovery and well-being. And those with certain medical conditions should also approach intermittent fasting with caution. For example, people with diabetes, specifically type 1, but also, and to a lesser degree, type 2. These people need to be careful to manage their blood sugar levels, especially while they're fasting, as fasting can sometimes lead to hypoglycemia, so that's low blood sugar levels, but specifically in people with type 2 diabetics. But it can also affect type 1 diabetics. It can also affect type 2 diabetics who are on medication. So monitoring your blood sugar is also, is really key. And also individuals with thyroid issues or other chronic health conditions should approach fasting with caution and should only fast under guidance and supervision. Potential side effects. Well, when starting intermittent fasting, it's common to experience some initial side effects as your body adjusts to this new eating pattern. It's quite common, and they do subside in the vast majority of people. Initial hunger and fatigue are the most common side effects. During the first few days or the first few weeks of getting into an intermittent fasting routine, you may feel very hungry or tired on your fasting days, especially if you're used to eating frequent meals and snacks. But these symptoms typically diminish as your body adapts. To manage hunger, and I'll mention it again, staying hydrated, drinking water, herbal teas, fruit teas, green teas, black tea, black coffee, they all help you to stay hydrated and they help to quell those hunger pangs. And again, I will stress eating nutrient-dense food during those eating windows when you're not fasting is not only good for your health, but can also help you to maintain your energy levels and help to reduce hunger. There's also a risk of overeating. Now, some people may overcompensate during the eating windows by consuming large amounts of food, which can counteract the benefits of fasting. And in my personal case and with my clients, if they're doing a 24-hour fast, I always suggest to them in the periods that they're eating that their total calorie intake for the day does not exceed 1,000 calories. So if you do eat a day's worth, if you eat a couple of thousand calories in your eating window, it does counteract the benefits of fasting. Also, practicing mindful eating is important. So focusing on eating slowly, savouring your food so you don't get indigestion as well, and also paying attention to your body's hunger and fullness cues will help you to avoid overeating. And planning balanced meals can also help prevent overeating and also ensure that you're getting the nutrients that you need. Other considerations, as we mentioned at the start, try to fit in intermittent fasting around your lifestyle and around your own personal needs. And here's some things to bear in mind if you're going to start fasting. You need to adjust fasting for different lifestyles. So your work schedule, your family life, social activities, they all influence how you practice intermittent fasting and also how successful you may be. So choose a fasting method that fits in with your daily routine. As we mentioned, if you've got a busy morning schedule, the 18-6 might be perfect for you, as that allows you to skip breakfast and then eat around 1 p.m. and eat again later in the day. Alternatively, if you like a bit of flexibility, then the 5-2 method might be a better fit. And if you do like a challenge and you want maximum benefits and you can do it safely, then the 24-hour fast could be perfect for you. And it's important to do regular checkups with your doctor when you're doing intermittent fasting, particularly if you've got any underlying health issues. So monitoring your health through blood tests. So maybe you've got high cholesterol or you've got high blood sugars. Having regular health checkups and blood tests is important to track your progress, and that can help you to ensure that the fasting is actually benefiting you. And keeping an eye on those health markers, those key health markers, so blood sugar levels, cholesterol levels, thyroid function is also really important. And if you are a type 1 or a type 2 diabetic and you do choose to fast, then please use a glucometer to measure your instantaneous blood sugar levels, or maybe use a CGM, constant glucose monitor, to keep tabs on your blood sugar levels. And that will allow you to intervene if there are any issues with going into hypoglycemia, lower blood sugars, and it will also help you to make informed decisions whether or not you need to break the fast if that's necessary. And also being mindful of your nutrient intake is key as well, as we've already mentioned. So I hope you found that presentation useful, the video useful. If you want to learn more, then please do check out my book, The KISS Plan. It's a book that took me 3.5 years to write, and it's my 4-step guide to prevent or reverse type 2 diabetes. But whether you're diabetic or not, then there are loads and loads of useful health tips in the book that can benefit everyone. If you're interested, have a look at the website, which is www.the-kiss with 3 S's -plan.com. You can get the PDF copy on from my website, and you can get the Kindle, paperback and hardback versions from Amazon. And if you want more resources, please do check out my website, diabetessolutions.co.uk. There's loads of great information on there, specifically for pre-diabetics and type 2 diabetics. But there's loads of great health improvement tips and hints on there as well, particularly in the knowledge hub that I put together. There's lots of downloadable resources. So if you've got type 2 diabetes, you can download my type 2 diabetes management pack for free. Diabetic or not, you can download my recipe pack, which has loads of healthy recipes in it. And there's also a free pocket-sized sugar names guide as well for you to have a look at. And please do follow me on social media, on X, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. The links are below, but I'll also include them in the video description as well. So I'd like to thank you for watching. It's really important for me to get the message out there. And thank you so much for staying with me through the video. I hope you found it useful and interesting. Please do check out my other videos for health improvement and blood sugar control tips. Don't be afraid to drop me a comment in the comment section. I love your comments, for better or worse. And if you've got any recommendations for future videos you'd like me to create, then pop them in the comment section or make contact with me via my website. And if you found the video useful, please don't forget to like it, give me a thumbs up, and also subscribe to my channel, as you'll then get updates when I release new videos. So thank you again, and I will see you on the next video.